Alright, so this is a good starter pack that I've been using, and I just wanted to show you guys basically what it is and what is each thing used for. This cost me about $92, this whole setup here, so not too bad of a startup cost if you have some extra money to put in, but I guess it could be a little pricey sometimes. I don't know the exact prices like individually of what thing was, so I might have to give like a rough estimate, but I'm not too sure. So to start off, you need a sanding kit. Basically what that is. By the way, I got this bin from Staples, so you don't really like kits don't always come in with these bins, so you might have to buy some out of pocket. But you do want a sanding kit. I like these rotary discs. These are really good. You can use these individually. You can fold them up like that, and then you can start filing down the plastic layer of the headlight. Or you can, if you wanted to, you can use one of these pads. I don't know what this is called. A rotational yellow pad, right? You stick this onto the back like this, like that, and then you can either like you'll have like a palm sander where you can go over the light like this with your hand, or you'll have a drill, which you can also use that for. I'll also show you what to use the drill for as well. Yes, so we have our sanding discs, our rotary yellow thing. We have our foam applicators. So, these kind of got messed up a little bit. So just to give you a quick look out. So I don't really know what the difference are between the kind of textured one versus the flat one, but I do know when you use these foam pads, it's for polishing. Polishing, the headlight when you're done with it, etc. It just kind of works in the product better than, for example, like a heavy cut wool pad. This is just like a cotton pad that's kind of fluffy. It's really cool to touch. This one's dirty, obviously, but foam pads. We have your heavy cut wool pad. The wool pad is for the compound. So you want to put headlight compound on first and then wipe it down, and then you want to put on the polishing the polish after using the foam applicators. Put this back here. Now for sanding grits, a really good setup to have is just a common setup to have is 1,000 grit, 2,000 grit, and 3,000 grit. That will get you a long way, especially if it's kind of lighter restoration. You'll have pretty great results. If you want kind of like a mirror finish, or if you have a headlight that's like way worse, a lot of oxidation, a lot of cloudiness, etc., then you would want to go from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and you want to go down a couple grits. So you want to go to 800 grit, and then you want to go down to 600 grit. You want to start with the lower numbers first and work your way up to the higher numbers. So for example, if I have a car or a vehicle that has like crazy yellow oxidation, I would take my 600 pad, which I do not have in this pack. 600 pad, I would spray it down with a solution or water, because you want to wet sand it instead of dry sanding. It's just easier, and it gives a better finish. So you spray it down with water, and then you start to scrape off the plastic layer. You want to start from 600 vertically or horizontally. It doesn't matter which way you do it, but just make sure that when you do apply that sanding layer, that you're doing it in continuous motion. What I mean by that is, instead of doing like swirls or going up and down once and then going side to side once and up and down once and side to side once, I mean, if you have 600 grit, stick to either vertical the entire headlight the entire time you're using it, this way, vertical, or horizontal, which is this way the entire time you're using it. Do not switch it up. Do not go one side and then flip over to the other. You'll have uneven sanding. So you want to keep that continuous motion. You want to keep that in mind while you're sanding. So I'd go 600 vertical, and then 800 horizontal, and then 1,000 vertical, and then 2,000 horizontal, and then 3,000 vertical, for example. So you get that kind of teeter-totter type of motion. That's going to give you, it's going to clean your headlights a little bit more. You'll scrape off the oxidation layer, so it'll no longer look yellow and kind of stale looking. It'll be cloudy, it'll be milky, kind of a white color, and that's good. You want a uniform milky white layer over the entire headlight. I know it's kind of seem like counterintuitive, but it's really good, and that's what's going to help you determine whether you need to sand more, sand less, or move on to the next steps, which is the compound and the polishing. Yeah, so those are it. Those are the pads, the stickies, whatever. These are also, I don't know what these are actually. Let me not feed you false information. I don't know what those are in my pack. But we have this. It's a nice starter that I'm using. It ran me about, or I guess the sanding part ran me about maybe $30. I know you can get it for cheaper on Amazon. Or I'm sorry, on TikTok probably. But that's just what I did. I got it off of Amazon. So we have our sanding. I don't know if that makes some room. We have our plastic coating. I'm sorry, plastic drop cloth. I personally like the 0.7 millimeter one. It's just the one that got recommended to me. I use, AI ChatGPT. So I bought this one. They're really big. Like you'll roll it out and it'll be like this huge thing that you really do not need. So personally, I cut it up a little bit, but I use this. You want to wrap it over the entire front hood area of like the headlight, the grille, the just the whole front, okay, the hood. And wrapped it up. It'll prevent the polishing and compound to fly over the place when you're using the drill on it or the polishing tool. It will also protect from overspray, which we'll get into in a second. So yeah, so we have our plastic drop cloth, and we have our tape. You need a tape around the headlight, I guess just everywhere around it, and kind of get inside of the crevices so there's no remaining paint on the outside, because it'll be a bitch if you have to sand off all the paint, and like, you don't want to sand off their paint, you want to sand the headlight. So the mask or the taping mask kind of gives it a extra barrier of protection, to say, like, you'll be sanding the tape over the paint, So very good, very essential. I would definitely recommend getting painter's tape. Yeah, so those are two of mine. I'll put these down. Next, you want scissors as well. These are just kitchen scissors. You can use whatever scissors you want. This is to cut the backdrop. Okay, now we have, let's get into the solution. So this cleaning solution is a mixture of water and soap. This is Meguiar's Gold Class Car Shampoo. It is really good. It helps, like when you spray it down on the headlight, it helps to allow the sandpaper to glide versus kind of drying up and sticking and moving. It helps it to glide around the headlight easier and more efficiently. Now, one thing I do have a kind of a problem with is that the soap, it's nice. It's a great soap for exterior car details and everything like that. But when I'm spraying it and it dries, it leaves like these white streaks on the paint or on the headlight, and it's kind of hard to get out. It's not like the end of the world. Like if you spray it and it gets a little chalky white, it's completely fine, right? It's soap and water, so all you just need is a little bit more water or just a little wetness, and you'll scrape it off. So that's good. You can use water if you want, just plain water, and sand it. I like to use a solution just because it works better for me. That's what I like to use. So, soap and solution. Oh, also get you a spray bottle too, a big one, because if you get a little one and you have like 4 cars in a day, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna have to fill it up at Wawa for free, you know. So, got that. Next is the alcohol, and we'll get into the compound as well. So, for the alcohol, you want to get 70% isopropyl alcohol. You do not want 93%. You do not want anything lower than 70. 70 is like the magic number. It'll get you right every time. The reason why you use alcohol is because when you're done with your polishing and compound, it leaves, usually the polish and the compound are active ingredients, or have active ingredients to help the headlight immediately. So you put it on, you applicate it, you rub it in, you get it in there, and then it'll start to look a little shiny. That's good. That means that all the oils are in there and the compound is doing its job. The polish is doing its job. After that, they have all these residue and oils, and you cannot apply a clear coat or UV layer over top of oil and oily layers. It's going to ruin the finish. It's going to create like a orange peel effect sometimes. Let's see what else. So yes, so you want to use the alcohol after you use the compound and polish. This one is 3D1 hybrid compound and polish. This has both compound and polish, so it's a 2-in-1 deal. It works really well for me. The only difference is you get 2 different sides when you use 2 different applications, which I just spoke about. The foam pad is for the polish side and the compound is for the heavy wool cut side. It depends how they get worked into the headlight, and you'll figure that out later on. But you can also get these separate. You can get one separate compound for, one instance, and another separate polish for another instance. I just decided to go with both because why not? When you are applying the alcohol, you want to do something called, like a train car effect. So, for example, I have 2 microfiber towels here. I would put alcohol, a little bit of alcohol on one side, and then I'll take a dry microfiber towel, and I will, first I'm folding these up in an 8-quad stack technique fold is what it's called, but really you're just folding this 4 times. So it's one here, turn it, it's one here, and now you have one clean side, one clean side, one clean side, one clean side. You flip it, and then you have another 4 clean sides. So you would put a little bit of alcohol in here, and then as you're wiping down the headlight, you want to go in one continuous streak motion. You don't want to do any like etching or any going back and forth. You just want to do one clean motion, and right after that motion, you want to follow up with a dry towel just to get all the alcohol off after it takes away all the polishing oils and compound. That's what it's doing. It's removing the oils, it's removing everything so that it leaves it dry and kind of bare for this, which is Meguiar's headlight coating. I use this personally. I spray this down after I'm done sanding and polishing and alcohol steps and everything. You shake this up for like 1 to 2 minutes, and then you stand 4 to 6 feet away. You spray it on the headlight, psh, 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 and you wait about 3 to 5 minutes until it's dry. You do 2 coats, medium wet coats, and that's your finishing element pretty much. So that is that. These are microfiber towels. And then I have a air compressor, which is really useful. Super powerful. This gets all the dirt, debris, and water outside of the headlight and the crevices wherever you're using it. You do not want any water, any debris, anything really in the way except the headlight and the clear coat, or the headlight and the UV coating. So this helps before I apply this. So got that. Gloves, of course, these are nitrile gloves. very useful. I would recommend because you're literally using chemicals on cars. So you're gonna get dirty. These are good to have. Then I have a respirator mask, which is good for also chemicals. And
Dang, I look like a I look like a boy. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. Well, we can follow me. Don't mind the mess. Please don't look at the mess. You're fine. I didn't even ask you what I'm doing.
okay, anyway, so we have a respirator mask. This mask is really good for when you apply this clear coat spray. Again, it keeps coming up. Clear coat spray. You want to have this mask on pretty tight so you're not breathing in any of these fumes. It is toxic. It will damage a lot of things. It has a lot of warning signs on the back of this label. So keep the mask on. Do not take it off until after you're done. It just, protects me, and it's a good safety measure to have. Plus, goggles, good safety goggles. I got those $5 from Walmart, which is really good. Anyway, so we have the respirator mask that kind of broke off. This one was a little cheap, so I don't expect it to last that long. But anyway, have that. And it's really nice if you do have a drill. So I will show you this drill in a second. So this drill is for the compound and the polishing step, where you put the foam pad and the heavy cut pad on top. You work it in like this, one continuous motion. I wouldn't do it so fast because then it starts to heat up the compound and it's doing too much. So you just want to light pressure, move it around, keep it there for a minute. You'll notice how the compound turns from white to clear. Once it turns white to clear, you're good to go. Like, you don't need to do any more. So that's really useful to know. Also, what was I going to say? Yeah, I can't really remember. If you have a drill or any type of rotary type of disc or a rotary machine, it's very, very, very time efficient. It's very useful. However, if you do not have a drill or any type of rotary instrument, you are still okay. You can do a little bit of this polishing and compound. You can put it on your fingers or your gloves and then kind of tap it on and then rub it in. Right, you can rub it in either with the same pads or just rub it in with your hands, whatever works. But it's good to have a drill because it's quick and easy, and I'm really blessed to have this drill. So yeah, this is my setup, and I hope you all do really good as well.